Beloved soul, welcome to Sacred Echoes 1. I'm so grateful that you're here right now, because today's message carries something that will stir your spirit deeply. The angels have been whispering this revelation for you, and it's not a coincidence that you clicked on this video. You were divinely led here because there's something heaven wants you to realize. The message is simple but powerful. Your future spouse is already in your life. You just haven't noticed yet. Before we dive in, take a deep breath and open your heart to receive this word. This message is not just information, it's confirmation. And I want you to type in the comments right now, I receive or I believe, if you're ready to align your faith with what heaven is revealing. Because when you make that declaration, you're not just typing words, you're sending a signal of faith into the spiritual realm. If you're new here, welcome home. This space is for souls who are seeking divine truth, peace, and confirmation from heaven. Please make sure to subscribe to Sacred Echoes 1 and turn on your notifications so you never miss another message that's meant to guide your spirit. Every video here is prayed over and created to remind you of your divine path and the loving plans God has for your life. Now, let's talk about what the angels are revealing to you today. There are moments in your life when God hides a blessing in plain sight, right in front of you, because the timing isn't yet perfect for you to see it. That's what's happening right now. You've been praying, asking God to show you your future spouse, wondering when that person will appear, but heaven is saying, they're already in your life. You just haven't recognized them yet, because both of you are still being refined, shaped, and positioned by divine timing. Isaiah 60:22 says, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. You see, beloved, divine timing isn't about waiting on someone to show up. It's about becoming the person who can recognize what's already around you. You might see this person often. Maybe they're in your community, your workplace, your circle of friends, or even someone you met online but didn't take seriously at first. The angels say your eyes are being opened now, little by little, so that you can see them not as they are now, but as they are in divine purpose. Sometimes, God places your future spouse near you long before love begins to bloom. It's not because He's delaying your blessing, it's because He's protecting it. He wants the connection to form on a foundation of understanding, purpose, and faith, not just attraction or emotion. He knows that lasting love grows from spiritual recognition, not just physical chemistry. Proverbs 18:22 says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Notice that word finds. It means discovery, not pursuit. Your future spouse may already be in your daily life, but you haven't discovered them yet because the divine favor that opens your eyes hasn't been released. But it's coming. Heaven is saying that soon you'll begin to see them differently. You'll notice their spirit before their appearance. You'll feel peace when they're near, even if words aren't spoken. The angels are showing that your future spouse has already entered your environment, your timeline, your space. Perhaps you've crossed paths at the right time, but weren't yet in the right emotional or spiritual condition to recognize the divine connection. Maybe you were still healing from something, or they were still finding their purpose. God often weaves two journeys side by side before allowing them to intersect. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, He has made everything beautiful in its time. You are stepping into that time now. What once seemed hidden will begin to reveal itself. What once felt ordinary will start to feel extraordinary. And the person who will one day hold your heart may already be standing quietly in the background of your life, waiting for the divine signal that says, now the angels say you've likely felt a subtle pull toward someone without understanding why. Maybe you think of them randomly or feel an odd sense of comfort when they're around. That's your spirit recognizing theirs. Divine connections are felt before they're seen. Your souls remember each other before your minds do. Matthew 6:33 reminds us, seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. The more you focus on growing spiritually, the clearer your eyes become to the people heaven has placed in your path. Sometimes we're so focused on asking God that we miss the who He's already sent. You see, your future spouse might not look like what you imagined. They might come into your life in an unexpected way, a friend who's been there all along, someone you dismissed as not your type, or even a person you once lost touch with but who returns in a new season. The angels are saying, pay attention. Your spirit will recognize what your eyes once overlooked. There's a reason you've been noticing certain people more lately. Maybe their presence feels different, their words carry more weight, or you feel drawn to them without reason. These are signs of spiritual recognition beginning to surface. God is awakening both of your spirits to the connection that has been quietly forming. Song of Solomon 3-4 beautifully captures this moment of recognition. I found the one my heart loves. I held him and would not let him go. That verse isn't just about romance, it's about divine recognition. The moment when your heart says, it's you. The angels say that moment is closer than you think. You may already have this person in your contacts, your social circles, or even your regular routine. But until the divine appointed moment arrives, they remain unseen in their true light. God sometimes blinds our hearts temporarily to protect us from attaching prematurely. He knows timing is everything. Love revealed too early can break, but love revealed in divine timing can last forever. Your angels want you to know that love isn't something you chase. It's something you align with. And alignment happens when both souls are spiritually ready to see and be seen. That's why God often allows you to meet your future spouse early, not to frustrate you, but to prepare you. To teach you patience, discernment, and the ability to see beyond the surface. Proverbs 19:21 says, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. That means no matter how many detours or distractions have come your way, what God has written for you cannot be erased. Even if both of you took different paths for a while, heaven knows how to realign what's meant to be. The angels are showing that some of you watching this have already interacted with your future spouse in small but meaningful ways. Maybe you exchanged a few words, shared a moment, or crossed paths during an event. You felt something you couldn't quite name, a spark, a peace, a familiarity. That wasn't random. That was divine recognition. Your spirits brushed against each other and quietly said, we'll meet again. Isaiah 43:19 says, see, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? The angels are saying your perception is about to change. What you once overlooked will now catch your eye. You'll start to notice kindness in someone you barely noticed before. You'll recognize consistency where you once saw friendship. You'll feel drawn to someone whose energy mirrors peace, not chaos. That's the sign that heaven has begun revealing what's been hidden in plain sight. Beloved, this is not a coincidence. Your future spouse's presence in your life is intentional. Heaven arranged it long before you realized it. The angels have been protecting this connection quietly, guarding it, guiding it, and nurturing it behind the scenes. You are both being drawn closer together, step by step, through divine alignment. Now, I want you to pause and take this to heart. Your future spouse isn't waiting to appear. They're waiting to be revealed. There's a difference. They are already in your orbit. The revelation comes when your hearts, minds, and spirits are aligned enough to see each other clearly. Ephesians 1:18 says, I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened in order that you may know the hope to which He has called you. That's exactly what's happening now. Your spiritual eyes are opening. The angels are saying this next season of your life will be filled with small moments that lead to divine realization. A smile here, a kind gesture there, a conversation that feels strangely deep. All of it is part of heaven's choreography. You'll begin to feel a connection growing where there once was only acquaintance. Don't dismiss it. Don't rush it. Let it unfold naturally. Remember that love ordained by heaven doesn't need chasing. It recognizes. It attracts. It aligns. The right person will move toward you with peace, not confusion. When God is involved, love doesn't drain you, it restores you. Psalm 37:23-24 says, "The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand." Every step you've taken, even the ones that led to heartbreak or detours, were all guiding you back to the divine connection God planned from the beginning. Now, beloved, if this message is resonating deeply with your spirit, if you feel that warmth or tingling in your heart right now, that's confirmation. Heaven is saying, yes, this word is for you. You're being prepared to recognize what's been around you all along. I want you to take a moment and type "blessed and ready" in the comments below. Let heaven see your declaration. Let your angels know that you're ready for divine revelation and alignment. Words of faith release power, and when you write those words, you're telling the spiritual realm. Beloved soul, the angels are saying that now is the time for you to see what you couldn't see before. Heaven has been gently placing signs around you, trying to get your attention, whispering that the person meant for you has already crossed your path. You may not realize it yet, but the energy between you and your future spouse has already been activated. It's like two hearts quietly circling each other, waiting for divine timing to draw them close enough to finally recognize what's always been there. The first sign the angels are revealing is peace in their presence. You may not understand it logically, but every time you're around this person, your spirit feels calm. Not excited in a nervous or anxious way, but calm, safe. When you talk to them, you feel seen. When they smile at you, it feels familiar. Even if you don't speak often, their energy carries peace that seems to quiet your soul. This isn't ordinary comfort, it's divine recognition. Philippians 4:7 says, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." That means when something is from God, it doesn't bring confusion. It brings peace. The angels are saying that the peace you feel around this person is not coincidence. It's confirmation. Heaven is letting you feel what divine alignment feels like, so you'll recognize it when it's time for that connection to unfold. You may have overlooked them because their presence doesn't feel like chaos or adrenaline. The world teaches us to chase excitement, but heaven teaches us to follow peace. God's chosen connections feel steady, not unstable. When your spirit rests around someone, that's God showing you that this person carries the same frequency as your destiny. The second sign is familiarity. Have you ever met someone who feels like you've known them for years, even if you've just met? You can talk with ease, as if your souls have been in conversation long before your mouths began speaking. You understand their silence, their tone, their energy. That's not just emotional chemistry, it's divine memory. Your souls recognize each other because they're part of the same spiritual design. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." That doesn't apply only to you. It applies to every divine connection God has destined for your life. That familiarity you feel comes from a higher place. Before this life, your spirits were aligned in heaven's plan. That's why you feel drawn to them without knowing why. It's not infatuation, it's remembrance. The angels say, when this happens, pay attention to how easily conversation flows. You might find yourselves finishing each other's sentences, laughing at the same small things, or sharing the same thoughts without realizing it. This is how heaven confirms that your paths were meant to cross. Your souls speak the same language, even if your personalities seem different. Now, the third sign is divine timing keeps weaving you together. You may notice that no matter how much life shifts, somehow your paths cross again. You might stop talking for a while and then reconnect unexpectedly. You may run into them at random places or hear their name in moments that seem oddly significant. That's not random. That's heaven's choreography. Proverbs 16:9 reminds us, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." That means even when you think something is coincidence, it's divine coordination. God knows how to make two paths intersect at the right time, over and over again, until the purpose becomes clear. If you've found that your life keeps looping back to the same person in meaningful ways, the angels are saying, pay attention. Heaven is trying to show you that this person's presence isn't temporary. It's part of your destiny. Divine connections don't fade with time. They strengthen quietly in the background, waiting for both hearts to be ready. The fourth sign is spiritual reflection. The person who is your future spouse often mirrors your spiritual growth. When you grow, they grow. When you heal, they begin their own healing. It's as if your spiritual journeys move in rhythm, even if you're not aware of it. This happens because God has tethered your destinies together. You're part of each other's refinement process. Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Divine love isn't just about romance. It's about spiritual evolution. The one God destined for you will push you to grow closer to Him. Their presence will inspire you to pray more, to dream bigger, to become gentler. You'll feel encouraged to step into your purpose because something about them awakens your higher self. The angels say that one of the clearest indicators of a future spouse already being in your life is that their presence subtly transforms you. You may not realize it, but your thoughts become softer, your perspective more hopeful. You begin to see love not as something to chase, but as something sacred that God unfolds in His timing. The fifth sign is consistent spiritual connection. You may feel this person's energy even when they're not near. You'll find yourself thinking of them during prayer or feeling a sudden warmth in your heart when you hear their name. These moments are not random. They're gentle reminders from heaven that this connection exists beyond the physical world. 1 Corinthians 13:7 says, "Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things." True divine love transcends distance and logic. It's built in the unseen before it manifests in the seen. If you often sense someone in your spirit, not out of longing but out of peace, that's a divine sign that their energy is already woven into yours. Sometimes this connection becomes stronger during moments of prayer or reflection. You may feel as though you're being prompted to pray for someone specific without understanding why. The angels say that's because your spirits are already connected. Your prayer for them strengthens both of you. Heaven uses that spiritual bridge to draw you closer until the physical connection becomes inevitable. Beloved, one of the most beautiful truths the angels want you to understand is that your future spouse doesn't need to enter your life. They just need to be revealed. God has already placed them in proximity. They could be someone you talk to occasionally, someone who has quietly supported you, or even someone who has been observing your journey from a distance. When the time comes, your eyes will suddenly open. You'll look at them and see not just a person, but a purpose. The peace, the familiarity, the divine timing, the reflection, and the spiritual bond, all will make sense. Heaven will give you an inner knowing that this is the one your soul has been waiting for. Psalm 37:4-5 says, "Delight yourself also in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." Commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. God doesn't just fulfill desires, He refines them. Every prayer you've spoken about love, every tear you've cried over waiting, has shaped your heart to receive a love that reflects His own. The angels say you don't have to chase this connection or analyze it. All you have to do is stay open and faithful. Keep focusing on your purpose, your healing, and your alignment with God. As you do, the connection will unfold naturally. The one meant for you will recognize your light, because it will be the same light shining within them. When divine love is ready, it flows without struggle. You won't have to force conversation, prove your worth, or question their intentions. Their consistency will speak louder than words. Their peace will feel like home. Their love will be a reflection of God's patience and faithfulness in your life. Ephesians 3:20 says, "Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us." That means what's coming will exceed every expectation you've ever had. God's version of love for you will be deeper, gentler, and stronger than anything you've imagined. You might be wondering why God didn't reveal this person sooner. The angels say it's because both of you needed time to grow separately before you could grow together. Love that lasts forever requires maturity that can handle forever. The waiting wasn't punishment, it was protection. Romans 8:25 says, "But if we hope for what we do not yet have, we wait for it patiently." The patience you've learned is preparing you to sustain the very blessing you've prayed for. Beloved, take comfort in knowing that heaven has already written your love story. Every twist, every detour, every delay, all of it leads to divine alignment. You are not behind. You are right on schedule. The angels want you to hold on to this truth. When your spirit feels peace, familiarity, divine timing, spiritual growth, and connection, that's how you'll know your future spouse is already here. You won't need signs from the world. You'll feel confirmation in your soul. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to like this video so others can find it and receive the same hope that just filled your heart. And before we go deeper, please type "blessed and ready" in the comments below. Let that be your declaration that you are ready for divine revelation, ready to recognize what heaven has already placed around you. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to Sacred Echoes 1 and click the notification bell, so you'll never miss the next divine message meant for you. Every video shared here is created through prayer, faith, and divine inspiration, each one a light to guide your spirit toward the truth God has prepared for your life. Stay with me, beloved, because in the next part, we will go even deeper into how the angels guide you to discern this connection. Beloved soul, as you take in everything that has been shared so far, I want you to rest in the calm that comes when your spirit recognizes truth. The angels are near right now, and they're saying, do not overthink what God is already making clear. The signs you've been feeling, the peace, the familiarity, the divine timing, the reflection, the connection are all part of heaven's plan gently unfolding. But now the angels want to take you deeper into understanding how to discern this divine connection and prepare for the moment of revelation. Discernment, beloved, is one of the most powerful spiritual tools you have. It's what separates divine timing from emotional urgency, spiritual truth from fleeting attraction. When your future spouse is already in your life, emotions alone will not be enough to identify them. Your spirit must lead the way. The angels are saying, learn to see with your soul before your eyes. John 16:13 says, but when He, the Spirit of truth, comes, He will guide you into all the truth. The Holy Spirit acts as your internal compass, gently nudging you toward what aligns with your destiny. That's how you'll know this person isn't just another connection. They're a divine assignment. You'll begin to notice that their presence draws you closer to peace rather than confusion. You'll find that their energy makes you feel safe, not anxious. You'll catch yourself thinking about spiritual things when they're around, not worldly ones. They'll inspire growth rather than temptation. When something or someone is divine, it never pulls you away from God, it pulls you toward Him. That's the first way to discern. Does this connection make you seek God more deeply, or distract you from His presence? True divine love always points you back to your Creator. The angels are saying that your future spouse will not only love you, they will also protect your soul's alignment with heaven. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." The one destined for you will handle your heart with prayer, not pride. You will feel peace, not pressure. God's love through them will never rush you. It will reassure you. Another way to discern is by observing consistency. The angels say that divine love speaks through action, not just words. Your future spouse will show you loyalty long before they ever confess love. Their kindness won't change based on what they want from you. It will flow naturally because their heart was designed to care for you. When someone is divinely connected to your destiny, they will mirror God's nature. They will show patience, compassion, and integrity. You won't have to question if they value you because their actions will reveal it. Galatians 5:20-23 describes these divine traits as the fruits of the Spirit. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. When the person in your life consistently displays these qualities, that's heaven's way of showing you they're being guided by the Spirit, and it's a sign of divine partnership. The angels also say you'll recognize divine timing through synchronicities that align effortlessly. When it's God's time, everything will start to fit without you forcing it. The communication will flow smoothly, plans will align naturally, and even your obstacles will lead you back to each other instead of pulling you apart. You'll find yourself at the right place at the right time. Conversations that once felt awkward will suddenly feel comfortable. Doors that once seemed closed will quietly open. The angels are saying, divine love never needs to chase. It attracts by alignment. Isaiah 55:12 says, "You will go out in joy and be led forth in peace." The presence of peace is one of the strongest signs that something is divine. If peace surrounds it, God is in it. Now, there's another level to discernment that heaven wants you to understand. It's not just about seeing who your future spouse is. It's also about recognizing the season in which they are revealed. The angels say that sometimes you meet the right person at the wrong time, not because God is teasing you, but because He's training both of you for the fullness of the promise. The waiting is part of the preparation. It softens the heart, deepens faith, and builds emotional maturity. God wants your union to reflect His glory, not your impatience. Habakkuk 2-3 says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." The angels are saying your love story has already been written. It's not a question of if, but of when. Beloved, while you wait for this revelation, heaven wants you to focus on becoming, not chasing. You are becoming the answer to someone's prayer. Your growth, your healing, your faith, your surrender, these are the things preparing you to recognize divine love when it's standing right in front of you. Your future spouse is being prepared too. They're learning how to lead with love, how to communicate with gentleness, how to recognize the difference between desire and destiny. Heaven is shaping them just as carefully as it's shaping you. When the time is right, your paths will align, not because of luck, but because of divine design. Nothing and no one can stop it. Romans 8:28 reminds us again. "And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose." That means even the delays are divine. The heartbreaks that once broke you were lessons that now strengthen you. The detours that confused you were redirections that protected you. Everything was leading you toward this revelation. And when you finally see the person for who they truly are, it will feel like a homecoming. Not a rush, not a spark that burns too quickly, but a quiet, lasting peace. You will understand why every other connection didn't work out, because they weren't meant to see the version of you that's ready for forever. Only this one will. The angels are saying that when this recognition happens, your spirit will know before your mind does. You'll sense it first as gratitude. You'll feel thankful just to be near them. You'll stop worrying about how or when things will unfold, because your faith will settle in the knowing that God's hand is on it. When you start to feel that deep sense of gratitude without anxiety, that's how you'll know your heart has entered alignment with divine love. Gratitude is heaven's signal that the wait is over and the revelation is near. Colossians 3:15 says, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace. And be thankful." The peace and the gratitude will come together as confirmation. Now, beloved, here's something the angels want to remind you of. Your future spouse's presence in your life might currently be subtle, but the energy between you is already preparing to bloom. The connection may feel like friendship right now, or even distant admiration. But when divine timing activates, everything will shift effortlessly. Suddenly, what was unclear will become clear. Conversations will deepen, hearts will open, and you'll both realize that the foundation for love was quietly being built all along. Sometimes, the angels hide love in friendship so it can grow without pressure. They let affection develop naturally, so when the revelation happens, it's grounded in trust, respect, and shared values. This kind of love is not rushed. It's planted, watered, and revealed. Song of Solomon 2:16 says, "My beloved is mine, and I am his." That's the energy heaven is bringing into your life. A love that feels mutual, not one-sided. You won't have to guess or chase. The recognition will be mutual. Both souls will awaken at once, like two hearts remembering an ancient promise. The angels say that as you prepare for this revelation, it's important to protect your energy. Not everyone around you will understand the depth of this connection, and that's okay. You don't need to explain what heaven has confirmed. Some things are meant to remain sacred until they manifest fully. You can prepare spiritually by continuing to pray for your future spouse. Pray for their peace, their clarity, and their strength. Even if you don't know who they are yet, God does. Your prayers carry power that transcends distance. James 5:16 says, "The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective." Each prayer you release becomes a bridge between your spirits. You're not just praying for them, you're praying with them. Because in the spiritual realm, your hearts are already aligned. The angels are saying to also focus on self-love during this season. The more you learn to love yourself, the easier it will be to receive love without fear. God's love for you sets the standard for every other kind of love. When you see yourself as heaven sees you, you won't settle for anything that doesn't reflect that same divine worth. Your future spouse will mirror the love you've cultivated within yourself. That's why it's so important to heal, to forgive, to release the past. Every wound you heal becomes a space for divine love to grow. Ephesians 4:32 says, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you." The angels say forgiveness is one of the final steps before revelation. When you release the weight of old pain, your heart becomes light enough to recognize the one who's meant to carry it with you. Beloved, as we close this part of the message, remember this. Your future spouse isn't a distant promise. They are part of your present reality. Their spirit is already near, their path already crossing yours. Heaven is simply waiting for both of your hearts to be ready to see the truth that's been there all along. The angels are smiling as they say, "Your story is already unfolding beautifully. Trust the process." Beloved soul, take a deep breath with me right now and let your heart rest in the assurance that God is preparing something beautiful for you. The angels are saying this next part is about readiness, not waiting passively, but standing in faith, fully aware that the love God has promised is already taking shape in your reality. What happens next, beloved, is one of the most sacred moments of your journey, when the revelation finally happens. When God reveals your future spouse, it won't come with confusion or chaos. It will come with stillness. The angels are saying that your heart will recognize what your eyes have just seen. It won't feel like falling. It will feel like remembering. That's the divine difference. Heaven's kind of love doesn't come to shake your foundation. It comes to strengthen it. In that moment, you might feel an overwhelming peace, a sense that this connection is protected, purposeful, and guided. You may even feel tears rise up, not out of fear, but gratitude. Your spirit will whisper, "This is what I've been waiting for." And the angels will smile, because they've been guiding both of you to this very intersection for longer than you can imagine. When this revelation happens, I want you to pause. Don't rush into labeling it, forcing it, or analyzing it. Just breathe and let yourself feel the presence of God in that moment. 1 Corinthians 14:33 reminds us, "For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace." That means when something is divinely orchestrated, it brings clarity, not questions. The peace you feel in their presence is your spiritual confirmation. The angels say one of the most important things you can do in that moment is to stay grounded in gratitude. Before you let excitement take over, thank God quietly in your heart. Whisper, "Lord, thank you for revealing what you've prepared." Gratitude anchors you in humility and protects your heart from rushing ahead of divine timing. You'll also notice that once this revelation occurs, the energy between you begins to change. Things that once felt ordinary will begin to feel sacred. Conversations will carry deeper meaning. Even silence will feel comfortable. The angels are saying that when the right person steps into alignment, everything starts to flow with divine ease. You won't have to perform, pretend, or push. Everything will unfold naturally. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness isn't about doing nothing. It's about trusting that what's meant for you will not pass you by. In this moment, your stillness is faith in action. It's you telling heaven, "I trust your timing more than my own understanding." Now, beloved, there's something very important to understand about divine revelation. It will always test your faith before it fulfills your desire. The moment you recognize this person, the enemy may try to plant doubt, fear, or impatience. He'll whisper things like, "What if you're wrong?" Or, "What if it doesn't work out?" But that's when you must remember this truth. Divine confirmation doesn't come through external validation. It comes through inner peace. Romans 8:16 says, "The Spirit Himself testifies with our spirit that we are God's children." In the same way, the Spirit within you will testify when a divine connection is real. You'll feel it deep in your soul. No matter how uncertain your mind feels, your spirit will remain calm, quietly whispering, "It's safe. It's right. It's time." When that happens, beloved, don't let fear talk you out of what faith has already confirmed. Remember, God doesn't bring you this far to confuse you. He brings you this far to complete what He started. The angels are saying, "Walk slowly but confidently." Divine love isn't about rushing, it's about recognizing. Take your time getting to know each other, but don't hide behind fear. Move with peace, speak with honesty, and let your intentions be pure. Proverbs 3-6 says, "In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths." That means every conversation, every decision, every step you take in this connection should begin with prayer. Invite God into it daily. When you acknowledge Him first, He protects you from deception and blesses your path with favor. Your angels also want you to remember that divine relationships require divine patience. Even when both hearts are aligned, timing must still unfold according to God's plan. Don't force the process. Allow God to perfect it. You may see progress some days and stillness on others, but both are part of His rhythm. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven." You are stepping into the season of revelation, but the full bloom of this love will unfold in stages. Trust that each stage carries its own beauty. When you finally begin walking in connection with your future spouse, the angels say you'll notice something beautiful. You'll become more of yourself, not less. God's chosen partner for you will never dim your light. They will magnify it. They will speak life over your dreams, support your growth, and pray with you through your challenges. This is how you'll know it's divine. It feels like partnership, not pressure. Ephesians 4:2-3 says, "Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace." True love doesn't just feel good, it does good. It helps both souls evolve into their highest purpose. The angels are also saying to guard your connection once it begins to grow. The moment light appears, darkness tries to interfere. You may face small misunderstandings, delays, or outside opinions meant to test your unity. But remember, divine love is stronger than any test. Keep your focus on peace. Pray together. Speak life over your connection instead of fear. 2 Corinthians 2:11 warns, so that Satan will not outsmart us. For we are familiar with his evil schemes. The enemy thrives on division, but unity is his weakness. As long as both of you keep God at the center, no attack can prosper. Your love will only grow stronger through trials because it was built on faith, not fantasy. The angels say that your future spouse will become your mirror of faith. You will see parts of yourself reflected in them, both your strengths and your wounds. And through each other, you'll learn healing, forgiveness, and grace. Love will no longer be about fixing, but about understanding. Your future spouse will understand your silence, comfort your fears, and celebrate your victories. They'll love not only who you are, but who you're becoming. And you'll do the same for them. That's what makes this love holy. It's reciprocal, it's kind, and it's honest. 1 Corinthians 13:4-7 says, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres." This is the kind of love that heaven is sending into your life. Not just passion, but purpose. Not just connection, but covenant. Beloved, once this revelation happens, you must learn to walk in gratitude daily. Every morning, thank God for the unfolding of His plan. Gratitude keeps your spirit humble and aligned. The angels are saying, gratitude is the heartbeat of manifestation. When you thank God for what He's doing, even before it's fully visible, you accelerate His blessings. When you pray for your future spouse, include these words: Lord, let our connection glorify you. Let our love be a light that heals others. Let our story be a testimony of faith, patience, and divine timing. This kind of prayer keeps your focus pure. It reminds heaven that your desire for love is rooted in purpose, not possession. Sometimes, after the revelation, you'll go through what the angels call the quiet phase. This is when the connection is real. But both of you may need to adjust emotionally and spiritually to this new awareness. Don't mistake quiet for distance. Silence is often God's way of allowing growth beneath the surface. Just as seeds grow in darkness before breaking through the soil, your love will deepen quietly before it blossoms publicly. Isaiah 40:31 says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles." Waiting doesn't weaken your connection. It strengthens your wings. It teaches you to rise above fear and move only when guided by peace. And when the moment comes for your love to take flight, you'll know it. Everything will align effortlessly: your emotions, your timing, your faith, your peace. You'll both be ready to step into partnership, not as two incomplete people searching for fulfillment, but as two whole souls walking in purpose. The angels are smiling as they show me, This image of you standing beside your future spouse. Both of you radiant in light, your hearts beating in divine rhythm. This connection isn't just about romance. It's about destiny. Together, you'll be a reflection of God's love on earth. Psalm 126:3 says, "The Lord has done great things for us, and we are filled with joy." That joy, beloved, is your confirmation. The day you feel this overwhelming joy, you'll know heaven's promise has manifested. If this message has touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video. It helps other souls find the same peace and confirmation that you felt today. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Sacred Echoes 1 and click the notification bell so you'll never miss another message like this one. Before you go, take a moment to write "Blessed and Ready" in the comments. Let heaven see your faith. Let your angels witness your readiness to receive the love that's already written in your destiny. Beloved soul, as we come to the end of this message, take a deep breath and let gratitude fill your heart. You've received this message today because it was meant for you. The angels guided you here, not by accident, but by divine appointment. They're saying, now you know your future spouse is already within reach. You don't have to search in fear or worry. You only need to stay open, stay faithful, and allow God to reveal what He's already aligned for you. The love that's meant for you isn't somewhere far away. It's already moving toward you, quietly, faithfully, divinely. The signs have been around you, the peace has been whispering to your heart, and heaven has been working behind the scenes to prepare both of you for this sacred union. Everything you've gone through, every heartbreak, every delay, every unanswered question, has been shaping you for this moment of revelation. So, as you leave this message today, walk in peace. Walk with the confidence that heaven has not forgotten you. Your angels are saying, you are closer than you think. What you're praying for is already praying for you. The person who is destined to walk beside you is being guided by the same light that's guiding you now. Before you go, I want you to affirm this out loud or type it in the comments below. Blessed and ready. Say it with faith. Let those words seal this message in your spirit. When you declare that you are blessed and ready, you're sending a signal to heaven that you're prepared for what's next. You're letting your angels know that your heart is open for God's divine timing to unfold. If this message has touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video. It truly helps this message reach more souls who need to hear these words today. And please share this video with your friends and family. You never know who among them is waiting for this same confirmation. Someone who needs to be reminded that love is on its way and that God's timing is always perfect. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Sacred Echoes 1 and click the notification bell so you never miss when we release another divine message just like this one. Every message shared here is prayerfully crafted to speak peace, faith, and hope into your spirit. You are part of this growing spiritual family now, and together we are walking in light, love, and divine purpose. Remember, beloved soul, God's love story for you is still being written. And the next chapter is filled with answered prayers, divine encounters, and the peace you've been waiting for. Keep trusting, keep believing, and keep listening, because the angels are still speaking, and their message for you is full of promise. Thank you for spending this sacred moment here today. I pray you leave this message feeling lighter, stronger, and more confident in the love that heaven has prepared for you. Until next time, may God bless you richly. May His angels go before you, and may you walk every step in faith, knowing that what's meant for you will never miss you. Stay blessed, stay faithful, and I'll see you again in the next divine message. God bless you always.